All right, thank you guys. Happy Tuesday to you. Hopefully you had a really good start to your week. And if you really end up enjoying this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up by hitting that like button. And if you haven't already joined the Brock Page delegation, please feel free to do that right now by tapping that subscribe button below. Now guys, we got ourselves a very short slate of NBA action here today, a little bit of a modified slate, but still some games of interest, so let's go ahead and dive into them. It's all fired up, queued up, ready to go on the big screen behind me. I'm talking about the Jazz squaring off against the Nets, 7:30 p.m. Eastern start time in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Nets are the 2.5-point favorite at home, totals 231.5. And if you like the Utah Jazz in a slight upset on the road here, they're plus $1.15 for some money line cash. We're 3-1 in our last 4 college basketball tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also 4-1 in our last 5 daily best plays on that site as well. And if you want to unlock today's daily best play, it's only going to cost you just $1.99. We also have plays going off in both of those very aforementioned packages today. We currently have a community of over 750 handicappers who are just like you, who are signed up and active on that page. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, I'd love to have you. The link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And of course, when it comes to this Jazz-Nets game, Kevin Durant will not be participating. Matter of fact, he won't be playing for about a week or so as he's in COVID contact tracing protocol, whatever that means. Looks like he's going to be missing about 4 games. But regardless of whether he plays or not, the Nets have been playing some pretty bad basketball over the past couple of weeks. 0-2 straight up in their last couple of games. Just 1-4 straight up in their last 5. Brooklyn's also failed to cover the point spread in their last 5 straight as well. They're in the bottom 3 in the NBA in defensive rebounding, and they give up 119 points a game on their home court. Now they're taking on a Jazz team who's a perfect 3-0 straight up away from home. They've been playing very good when traveling, and they're also in they're first in the NBA in offensive rebounding. Now, the Jazz also find themselves in the top 5 in the NBA in shooting the 3-ball on the road, and they score 120 points a game when they travel. Mike Conley scoring over 20 points a game along with 4 boards and 5 assists. Meanwhile, Donovan Mitchell is also scoring over 20 a game himself, 4 rebounds and 5 assists for the shooting guard. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the scoring in this one, 2 out of Utah's last 3 road games got over the posted number. Meanwhile, 2 out of Brooklyn's last 3 ball games got over the line themselves. We're going to start off like we do with most videos with an underdog. Give me the underdog Utah Jazz plus 2.5 and the over 231 and a hook. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for NBA basketball here on a Tuesday. Once again, happy Tuesday to you guys. Hopefully you had a great start to your week. Now, before we go ahead and dive into some more free content right here on YouTube, I just have to quickly remind you once again that we are 3-1 in our last 4 college basketball tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also 4-1 in our last 5 daily best plays on that site as well. And if you want to unlock today's daily best play, it's only going to cost you just $1.99. And just remember, guys, when you sign up for a membership on Patreon, you're going to get access to that tier through the end of the month. You're also going to get access to the lesser expensive memberships absolutely free. Once again, guys, when you sign up for one of my memberships on Patreon, you're going to get access to that membership through the end of the month, and you're going to instantly get access to all the lesser expensive tiers absolutely free. The cheaper memberships are included with your purchase. I don't think I've done a good enough job just explaining the value in that over the past couple of years. Exceptional value with your purchase. And for those who are wondering what the difference is between my free picks here on YouTube and my Patreon site, what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you as I break down the daily card and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on, and I'll tell you this much, I'm having a lot more success betting on games that way in small sample sizes versus wagering on every single game on the slate, side and total, like I do here with my free leans on YouTube. Now, we currently have a community of over 750 handicappers who are just like you, who are signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that page is in the description section below. And once again, guys, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. And moving on, we're going to take a look at some more free NBA content here right on YouTube. Our next game is going to be the Lakers versus the Grizzlies, and that's going to be an 8 p.m. Eastern tip-off in Memphis. The Lakers are the 9-point favorite away from home. Total's 218 flat. The Lakers are on a 3-game winning streak, 4-2 against the spread in their last 6. LA is also a perfect 3-0 straight up when traveling, 2-1 against the number in those 3 road games. LA is scoring 117 points a night, and they're first in the NBA in offensive field goal percentage. Now, Alex Caruso's still out. LeBron and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, they're questionable. But Anthony Davis, he's still scoring over 22 a game, 9 boards and 4 assists for the 6'10 forward. Meanwhile, Dennis Schroeder is scoring over 16 a night himself, 4 rebounds and 5 assists for the point guard. I've said it before, Dennis Schroeder, one of the most likable players in the NBA. LA is in the top 5 in offensive rebounding, top 5 in defensive field goal percentage. The Lakers are allowing just 101 points per contest away from home. Now they're taking on a Memphis squad who scores just 108 points a game on their home court themselves. And, well, they've yet to win a ball game in 3 tries at home as well. 0-3 straight up on their home court. Now, Porter, Tilly, Morant, Jackson, Winslow, and Melton, that's 6 guys. They're all out for the Grizz, and that's just right now. Who knows who will be out or questionable by tip-off. But anyway, Memphis is giving up over 120 points a game on their home court, and they rank in the bottom 5 in home defensive rebounding. Now, total-wise, Memphis saw games with Boston and San Antonio this season get over the posted number. Meanwhile, the Lakers saw contests with Dallas and the Clippers get over the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the LA Lakers -9 and the over 218. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Timberwolves versus the Nuggets, and that'll be a 9 p.m. Eastern start time in the Mile High City. The Denver Nuggets are -11.5, totals 227 and a hook. Now, Denver struggled to get the job done at home, just 1-3 straight up on their home court, 1-3 against the number in those home games. The Nuggets are in the bottom 5 in offensive rebounding, and they're allowing their opponents to connect on 41% of their three-pointers. Michael Porter Jr. is out for tonight's action. They're taking on a Minnesota squad who's in the top 10 in fourth quarter scoring, top 10 defensively, in second quarter points allowed. Now, Malik Beasley is scoring 19 points a game, 5 rebounds and a couple assists a night for the guard. Meanwhile, D'Angelo Russell is also scoring 17 points a game himself, 3 rebounds and 5 assists for Russell. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the number in this one, Minnesota's last 2 straight both got over the posted total. Meanwhile, Denver's 5-1 to the over for the entire season themselves. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the underdog Minnesota Timberwolves +11.5 and the over 227 and a hook. All right, next contest, it is going to be the San Antonio Spurs versus the LA Clippers, and that's going to be a 10 p.m. Eastern tip-off at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. The Clippers are the 8-point favorite at home, totals 220. Now, the Clippers have won 3 out of their last 4 ball games. They're making 42% of their three-pointers this season. Paul George is leading the charge with over 25 points a night, 6 rebounds and a couple of steals a game for the 6'8 shooting guard. Meanwhile, Kawhi Leonard's also scoring 22 a game himself, 6 boards and a couple of blocks for Kawhi as well. The Clippers are in the top 10 in defensive rebounding, top 5 in defending the 3-ball. Now, they're taking on a Spurs team who's on a 4-game losing streak themselves, and they let their opponents shoot over 41% from beyond the arc. That could be potentially problematic here tonight. The Spurs are also in the bottom 3 in defensive rebounding, and they find themselves giving up nearly 116 points per contest. Aldridge, White, and Weatherspoon are all out for San Antonio, and when it comes to the scoring in this one, 3 out of San Antonio's last 4 ball games stayed under the posted number. Meanwhile, 3 out of LA's last 4 stayed under the line themselves, throwing out the Phoenix game. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the LA Clippers -8 and the under 220. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the show. It's the late game. I'm talking about the Bulls versus the Blazers, 10:30 p.m. Eastern tip at the Moda Center. The Portland Trail Blazers are -10 at home, laying a big number here. Total's 234 flat. Now, the Blazers have dropped 2 out of their last 3, and they find themselves just 2-4 against the number for the entire season. Portland's in the bottom 5 in offensive field goal percentage, and they give up 123 points a game on their home court. Zach Collins is still out for the Blazers. Rodney Hood is day-to-day with a quad. They're taking on a Bulls squad who's won 3 out of their last 4 themselves, while also successfully going 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. Now, Chicago's in the top 10 in scoring, top 10 in defensive rebounding on the road. Zach LaVine scoring 25 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists for the guard. He's looking very good at the start of this 2021 season. LaVine's also averaged 2 steals a game thus far. Meanwhile, Kobe White's also scoring 16 points a game himself, 5 rebounds and 5 assists for the point guard from UNC. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Chicago's last 3 got over the posted number, 4-2 to the over in their last 6. Meanwhile, Portland saw 2 out of their last 3 get over the line themselves. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the underdog Chicago Bulls +10 and the over 234. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we are 3-1 in our last 4 college basketball tier package plays. I like the Utah Jazz +2.5 over 231 and a hook. I also like the Lakers -9 over 218. I'm leaning toward the Minnesota Timberwolves +11.5 over 227 and a hook. I also like the Clippers -8 under 220. And last but certainly not least, please give this video a thumbs up right now if you enjoyed it. And please subscribe right now if you haven't done so already. I'd be eternally grateful if you did that. Give me the Chicago Bulls +10 and the over 234. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into some shout-outs. And from our YouTube platform, shout out to James Wirt. Also want to give a shout out to Abdur-Rahman Muhammad, Ryan Spring, Jason the World Is Yours, Caleb Lambert, Danky Doodle, Montclair Mike, Damian Weaver, Adonis Iverson, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to my good friend Gino Estep from the capital. That's right, Washington, D.C. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. Once again, guys, if you end up getting a package here today on Patreon, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that if you're on auto pay. And also, guys, just keep in mind, if you end up getting a package here today, all the lesser expensive memberships are included with your purchase. So, for example, if you end up signing up for the $4.99 package here today, all the cheaper tiers are included with your purchase. And once again, guys, you're going to get access to all that content through the end of the month. And then we auto bill you on the 1st unless you opt out. But anyway, guys, most importantly, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on that website at patreon.com/BrockPage.